Hello, New Wave of British Heavy Metal.com here. Today it's the 6th of May 2024. Little request for a favour if you don't mind, and that's if I can ask you to please subscribe to the channel, because that'd be marvellous big help, so please do if you would. Right, just found out that Jaguar's Power Games, of course their classic debut album from 1983, back in the good old New Wave of British Heavy Metal days, has just been reissued by High Roller Records and given a bit of a spruce up, because as is usual with High Roller when they do this kind of stuff, there's a slipcase cover, there's a comprehensive booklet and a little mini poster as well. You know, they keep doing this kind of stuff with old NWOBHM bands and others, and you know, an example of that is just recently they gave similar treatment to the Amiga reissue. You know, Amiga's The Prophet album, marvellous stuff. That, check that out if you find it. But Power Games, you know, Jaguar's Power Games is something of a new wave of British heavy metal classic, isn't it? Breathlessly heavy, fast, furious. You know, no mucking about here. It's new wave of British heavy metal, but it's more like early speed and thrash if you think of it in another way. The whole album, it's breakneck, isn't it? Delivered at breakneck speed, monster riffs, banging along a pace, fast, brutal solos, thunderous drumming, vocals to match. You know, it's quite a recipe. And of course, this came out on good old Neat Records, and of course, Neat were the label that snapped up many a fledgling NWOBHM related band back then, weren't they? You know, you can reel them off at will. And Power Games, you know, it was a modest success at the time, wasn't it? Looked good for Jaguar. You know, they were label mates with all those other NWOBHM bands, including Raven, who of course had a similar style to Jaguar. But despite Power Games going down so well, that the story goes that the second album, this time, which was released the following year in 1984, this time via Roadrunner, wasn't so good because they moved away quite considerably from that fast, brutal, heavy, speedy stuff to more sort of like polished melodic rock, which perhaps wasn't the best move, and Jaguar didn't last too long after that back then. They popped up a time or two since, reformed around the turn of the century, I think it was, and there's been some sporadic albums appeared for a few years. And I'm not sure if they've disappeared again, or they might still be around in some form here in 2024. But nevertheless, Power Games is a classic of the new wave of British heavy metal days. Influence on that early thrash stroke speed stuff. So if you like Raven or early Metallica, well, Power Games is going to be your bag, I'm sure. And with High Roller giving it this reissue, say in the slipcover, the booklet and the poster, it's certainly more than worthy. I will put a link underneath to High Roller Records. They're based in Germany. I found it on Amazon also, so I'll put a link to that as well underneath. Please do subscribe to the channel before you disappear. And as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and take care.